Hey everyone, Kyle Walker here. If you love cars, fixing things, or just want to understand your vehicle better, you're in the right place. I share hands-on tips, smart driving advice, and straight-up car talk without the fluff. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the end. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Let's get into
Motorists
it.
prefer to paint brake calipers. This gives the wheels of the car a well-groomed look, and the overall exterior of the car wins. However, the result will please only if the painting is done competently and qualitatively. Why paint calipers? Painting the brake calipers is necessary from the point of view of aesthetics. Under alloy wheels, this element is quite visible. The paint coating protects the housing from mechanical damage by stones and corrosion, and increases the heat dissipation rate. The latter effect is achieved for the following reason. The casing has a finely porous surface. Since it is not covered by any casing, it is constantly in contact with the outside environment. Dirt and dust adhere to it and accumulate in the pores. The cooling time of the caliper increases as a result. The painted surface becomes smooth and dirt repellent. Not only does the heat exchange improve, but also makes it easier to wash the unit. Materials and equipment for painting standard brake calipers of the car. For disassembly and removal of the node will be required: jack, cylinder wrench, screwdriver. For painting calipers, tools and materials are needed: cleaner, white spirit or similar, paint with hardener, primer, heat resistant, brush, gloves, metal brush, painter's tape, newspapers, polyethylene film, a container for mixing paint compounds, cotton rags, protective means for respiratory organs. Manufacturers that produce specialized paint offer ready-made paint kits that include everything you need. What color to choose? In what color to paint the calipers? Exclusively the decision of the car owner. Manufacturers produce paintwork in a wide range of shades. Some people like bright colors, yellow, red, and others choose inconspicuous and practical, black, dark blue, brown. Tip: when selecting the paint color, you need to take into account the color of the car body, discs, and attachments. On black cars look spectacularly white and red bodies. On dark blue, terracotta, blue calipers are originally combined with the body of white and red. Yellow are suitable for green, brown and blue, orange for emerald. A tribute to fashion, acidic shades. You can paint calipers with paint in several colors at your discretion. With the help of a competently chosen paint color, you can emphasize the individuality of the car, your taste, make the car recognizable and spectacular. What paint to choose for painting elements of the braking system? Ordinary paint is not suitable for painting calipers. Some motorists paint the body with powder paint, but it does not tolerate high-temperature operation of the node, although it shows itself as a reliable and durable coating under more favorable conditions. If it was possible to find a suitable powder paint, then it should be applied in 4 layers, with a break of 20 minutes between applications. Read also, how to eliminate scratches on the glass of the car. Expert advice for painting calipers, stove and primus paint is suitable. Please note, the paint for the calipers must be heat resistant. Non-specialized paint will burn and peel off when exposed to high temperatures. It is definitely not worth using enamels. Specialized heat-resistant paint is expensive, but it performs both an aesthetic and protective function. Popular brands of paints are Foliatec and Motip. Heat-resistant high-temperature paint Foliatec belongs to the compositions of premium class and a set consisting of paint, hardener, varnish and cleaner will cost 2,000 to 2,300 rubles, and the aerosol, 2,100 rubles. In addition to the shade of paint, you can also choose its type: metallic, glossy, matte. Advantages of specialized paint: heat resistance, durability, wear resistance, chemical resistance, wide range of colors, hardness of the coating. The form of release of specialized paint also varies. If we consider the paint produced under the brand Foliatec, it is available in the form of aerosol, costs less, and is convenient to apply. It is easy to paint the caliper yourself, but a single can is often not enough to paint all parts. Disadvantage: high volatility of the fine jet, because of which more careful protection of adjacent elements is required. Fine paint particles settle on surfaces. The paint in a can is more expensive. Paint is applied with a brush and takes more time. Disadvantage: you can't paint perfectly. there will be streaks. Painting kit includes all the necessary materials and tools. Motip paint made in Germany and Holland is a budget option. Heat resistance up to 650 degrees Celsius. Good adhesion, covering power, dirt repellent properties. How to paint with your own hands. Before painting the caliper, should at the same time check its technical condition. Pay attention. The process of painting calipers with your own hands will last about 2 hours. With disassembly of the caliper, it is more convenient to paint. The part is evenly painted both on the outside and on the inside. But the system will have to be pumped after installation of the painted unit. Without dismantling the part, it is inconvenient to paint. You need to carefully close the adjacent parts. On the sides and on the inside of the caliper will be painted unevenly. You can paint discs and calipers in the same color so that the elements look harmonious. The following is a detailed instruction on how to correctly and competently paint calipers with a brush and from a spray can. The machine is jacked up and secured with sturdy clamps to ensure safety. Then unscrew the wheels. Check the technical condition of the caliper by visually inspecting it. Then remove the part. It is attached to 2 bolts. They are unscrewed. If they do not yield, you need to pour WD-40 or knock on them. If this method does not work, heating the node in the oven should help. Read also, principle of operation and device of the brake caliper in the car. If you are sure of the good condition of the node, it is not necessary to remove it for painting. If the calipers will be painted only from the outside, it is enough to remove only the wheel discs. Before painting the calipers, they need to be qualitatively prepared for painting. From the surface of metal elements, it is necessary to remove all traces of corrosion. Use a rust converter and metal brushes. The process can be mechanized by purchasing the appropriate attachment on the drill or using a sandblaster. Sandblasting is used to clean the dismantled caliper. Rubber parts, dust covers, are cleaned from dust. The pistons are treated in a gentle manner using fine sandpaper, and they should not be removed completely, otherwise brake fluid will leak out. The elements are sanded with fine-grained sandpaper for finishing. If no corrosion is observed, clean the surface with sandpaper. Then treat it with degreaser. When painting calipers, it is important to isolate all moving working elements with painter's tape under the influence of high temperature. The paint acts as a lubricant. If it gets on the brake disc, you will not be able to brake. Apply painter's tape to the supply hoses and all other parts that should not be painted. The work should be carried out in a well-ventilated room with a sufficient number of bright light sources. The room itself shall be wet cleaned to eliminate the presence of dust. The air in the room should be relatively dry. A brush is prepared for the work. The container with paint is uncorked immediately before starting work. In the composition, add hardener in the amount specified in the instructions and mix. After 20 minutes, the paint should be stirred again. The paint is applied in 2 to 3 layers with a break, about 30 to 40 minutes each. The paint is applied carefully and smoothly, without drips. You can drive the car after 24 hours, but it is better to wait a few days when the paint dries completely. Pay attention. For painting, you can use a paint sprayer or a swab. When working with a spray can, coat the hull with primer in 2 coats, making wide brush strokes. The second coat is applied about an hour after the first. The can is held at a distance of 25 to 30 centimeters from the caliper. Try to apply the second layer at an angle of 90 degrees to the previous one to eliminate streaks. Tip: if the front axle is equipped with disc brakes and on the rear, drum brakes, it is recommended to paint calipers and drums. Calipers and drums of the braking system in the process of operation lose their aesthetic appearance. However, with the help of painting, not only return the presentable appearance of the elements of the braking system, but also protect them from the effects of the environment. In conclusion, painting your brake calipers is a rewarding project that can enhance the overall look of your vehicle while providing a layer of protection against corrosion. By carefully selecting the right paint and following the step-by-step instructions we've covered, you can achieve a professional finish that stands out. Remember to prioritize safety and take your time with each step for the best results. With a little patience and effort, your calipers will not only look great, but also contribute to the longevity of your brakes. Thank you for watching, and happy painting.